Because on the spiritual platform, there's no restriction of time and place. Krishna is the master, the creator of time and space. He's not bound by it. If Krishna wants, he can put the whole spiritual world within the soul. In fact, he does. Okay, we'll all very enthusiastically chant, right? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Balava Girivaradhari. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa Buddhavacharya Sarasi Srimad, His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa Buddhavacharya Sarasi Srimad, Divine Grace, Srila Gokishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Thakur Bhakti Vinod Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sadhu Sangha Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Go Premananda Haribo. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All together, please. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ganandana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Pa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamalang Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunattam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Kirana Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagadpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapcha Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So, thank you very much. Today's verse, number 2, chapter 10, the opulence of the Absolute. Please repeat. Na me vidu suragana prabhavam na maharishya aham adir hidevanam mahashinam chasarvashah Na me vidu suryagana prabhavam na mahashaya aham adihi devanam mahashinam cha sarvasha na me vidu suryagana prabhavam na mahashaya Aham adihi devanam mahashinam chasavasha. Okay, have a go. Bedu Shoryagana Aham Hida Devanam Name Vidu Shoryagana Prabhavam na Mahashreshya Aham Hida Vidavanam Idam Vishaha Name Vidu Surigana Prabhavam na Mahashaya Aham Adi Devanam Mahashinam Chisarvashaha Matages Name Vidu Surigana Prabhavam na Mahashaya Aham Adi Devanam Mahashinam cha sarvashaha. Please repeat word for word. Na, never, me, my, vidu, no, suragana, the demigods, prabhavam, origin, opulences, na, never, maharishaya, great sages, aham, I am, Adihi, the origin, he, certainly, Devanam, of the demigods, Maharishinam, of the great sages, Cha, also, Sarvashaha, in all respects. So, translation Srila Prabhupada. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Please repeat. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Purport. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. No one is greater than him. He is the cause of all causes. Here it is also stated by the Lord personally that he is the cause of all the demigods and sages. Even the demigods and great sages cannot understand Krishna. They cannot understand neither his name nor his personality. So what is the position of the so-called scholars of this tiny planet? No one can understand why this Supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being and executes such wonderful uncommon activities. One should know then that scholarship is not the qualification necessary to understand Krishna. Even the demigods and great sages have tried to understand Krishna by their mental speculation, and they have failed to do so. In the Srimad Bhagavatam also it is clearly stated that even the great demigods are not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. They can speculate to the limits of their imperfect senses and reach the opposite conclusion of impersonalism, or something not manifested by the three qualities of the material nature. Or they can imagine something by mental speculation, but it is not possible to understand Krishna by such foolish speculation. Here the Lord indirectly says that if anyone wants to know the absolute truth, here I am, present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am the Supreme. One should know this, Although one cannot understand the inconceivable Lord who is present personally, he is nonetheless existing. One can actually understand Krishna, who is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, simply by studying his words in the Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. The conception of God as some ruling power or as the impersonal Brahman can be reached by persons who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in the transcendental position. That's a very good, I'll say that sentence again because it's very wonderful. Can you close those windows? There's terrible noise. So that sentence again, listen closely. This is the brilliance of Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, that's a good idea. Close that. There's a kind of rumbling kirtan. So, the conception of God as some ruling power or as the impersonal Brahman can be reached by persons who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. That means the material energy. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in the transcendental position. So that's very interesting. Because most men cannot understand Krishna in his actual situation, out of his causeless mercy, he descends to show favor to such speculators. Yet, despite the Supreme Lord's uncommon activities, these speculators, due to contamination in the material energy, still think that the impersonal Brahman is the Supreme. Only the devotees who are fully surrendered unto the Supreme Lord can understand, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that he is Krishna. The devotees of the Lord do not bother about the impersonal Brahman conception of God. Their faith and devotion bring them to surrender immediately unto the Supreme Lord. And out of causeless mercy of Krishna, they can understand Krishna. No one else can understand him. So even great sages agree. What is Atma? What is the Supreme? It is he whom we have to worship. Name vitu makam karochi vachalam pangam laite grim yat kripatamaham bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam. Name vidu surigana pravavam na maharishyaha aham hi adihi devanam mahashinam cha sarvashaha. Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Yes. So, as Prabhupada says here in the first, Krishna is saying, here I am the Supreme. Right? Now there's many people that may say, I am God, you are God, we are all God. But they should go to the hospital and get treatment. Here is Krishna saying, I am the source of everything. I am the source of what? Not only everything, but because this chapter is entitled The Opulence of the Absolute. So Krishna is going to tell his opulences that are manifest in the material world particularly. We saw in the 9th chapter, Krishna explained a general picture of Vyaktamurtina. By me in the unmanifest form, this whole universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. So we might think, what does that mean? All beings are in Krishna, but he is not in them. That means that they're not conscious of him. You know, where in the 4th chapter, Krishna says, approach a spiritual master and then from him you become enlightened. And what will you learn? Prabhupada translates that all beings are in me, are mine, and are part of me. So the whole creation in chapter 9, Krishna is explaining that he is not only in the creation, but he is the creation. So this material energy, the living entities and the spiritual energy that is manifest and in the material world, this is all Krishna. There is nothing apart from Krishna. This microphone is Krishna. These cartels are Krishna. Every spirit soul within a material body is Krishna. All beings are in me. This creation, this vyakta, this manifest creation, and the avyakta means the spiritual, non-manifest from the material platform for those with material consciousness. That is all my creation. In the Prabhupada quoted the Vishnu Puran, that Krishna has three energies, basically, you can categorize. There's a spiritual energy, material energy, and the Jiva Shakti. And they're all non-different from him. Because they have come from Krishna. Just like sometimes people think God is in the world. Prabhupada talks in the purport about the speculators. They may think that God is here, God is there. But God is in the world, yes. He's controlling the world. But we also add that God is this world. The Supreme Lord is this world. This is his Mahadyonir Brahma. It is the material energy is Krishna. And yet at the same time, he is the source of everything. Just like the sunlight. It is the expression of the sun. It is coming from the sun. It is non-different from the sun. It is the energy of the sun. And the sun, though, has a special quality that he is the source of the sunlight. But you cannot say the sunlight and the sun are different. They are one and different. So through the Goswamis, Mahaprabhu emphasized this, Achintya Bhed Abhed, that the creation is simultaneously Krishna and not Krishna. It is his expression. It is creation. He is the creator. But all things, as we see from the Bhagavatam, you know, the cowherd boys, they went to Mother Yashoda and they said, Mother Yashoda, Krishna has been eating dirt. Oh, Krishna said, they're just telling nasty stories. I had a fight with Balaram and now they're fighting with me. Mother Yashoda, open your mouth. You're eating dirt? What's wrong with you? You're stealing butter 1 minute and then you're eating dirt the next. What kind of a son are you? Open your mouth. I'm going to tell Nanda Maharaj. Oh, no. So open your mouth. So I looked in Krishna's mouth and she saw all the universes. And she saw herself with Krishna sitting on her lap. And she was looking into the mouth of Krishna. She saw that within Krishna. So everything is within Krishna, and yet everything is the creation of Krishna. So we can think in this way. Krishna is the creator, he is the creation, and he is within the creation. And everything in the creation is him, ultimately. And that is what he told Uddhava. Right, Uddhava, I want you to become a Paramahamsa. Chapter 29, Srimad Bhagavatam. So now you go to Bhadrak Ashram, you do meditation there, and you see me within every living being. The dog, hog come, not just the devils or the humans, but you see everything, everyone is but part of me, and they are in me. And offer obeisances. That doesn't mean to say you have to get down on the ground and offer obeisances to the hog or the pig. They might, I don't know. You can if you like. But respect them all as my creation. And then he says, by this exercise, you will lose the rogue, the ridha rogue. What is the ridha rogue? Rogue means disease of the heart. And that rogue is matsarya, envy. 6 afflictions of the mind: lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, and then finishing with matsarya, envy. Envy means, oh, I don't like him because I think he's superior. Oh, I have rivalry with those I consider equal, my peer group, and I disparage, I criticize those unnecessarily, those that are below me, because that makes me feel superior. So this is matsarya. Everyone is like that. He's got more money than me, I'm envious. Peer group, oh, he's playing madanga better than me, I envy him. Oh, this person, he can't even put tilak on properly. What a fool. Huh? I can put on tilak properly. So I'm superior. So this is the disease of the soul that is in Krishna, but Krishna is in him, but he doesn't know that Krishna is within him, because he's devoid of bhakti. Bhakti mama vijananti. There's that verse, is it not? Advaitim achutim anadiman anantarupam adyam parana parasho navayovanam cha vedesha durlam abadolam atma bhakto govindamat vipurasham tamaham bhajami. Yes. Advaitim. Okay. Number 33, Brahma Samhita, 5th chapter. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord. This is Lord Brahma, who is inaccessible to the Vedas. What does that mean? That means, you see, it says here, Vedesha Durlamam. Very difficult to understand through the Vedas. So somebody may say the Vedas are manifest by Veda Vyas, Vedanta Krit Veda Vedeva Chaham. The purpose of the Vedas is to reveal Krishna. So why are you saying that it's very difficult? Huh? Lord Brahma, why are you saying that through the Vedas, Durlabham, this person who is Advaitam, non-different, Achutim, infallible, Anadim, he has no origin, Anantarupam, he has unlimited forms. He's the original, the Parana Purusham, and he is also a young boy, Navayovanamcha. Why you say? Well, it is a little difficult. What? He is Parana and he is Navayovanam. The speculators think God should have a long beard and be an angry old man because he's the original. No, it says here, he's Krishna. He's dancing with the gopis. How is that? He has a mother and father, but you've just said here, Nate vidu, the great sages, they don't know me, but I am the origin of them. So now you're saying he's got a mother and father. It says here, he who knows me as unborn, the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only undeluded among is free from sins. Unborn. Everybody knows the story of Krishna in Mathura. He was born in in Kamsa's guest rooms. You're saying he's unborn. Krishna is saying, Krishna, why are you saying you're unborn? You were born in Kamsa's house. Why is this? You're beginningless, but everyone knows that you grew up in the arms of Mother Yashoda. So what is all this? Yes, it is true. Vedesha Durlamam. It's very difficult. The Vedas are confusing. The Vedas, So, Adholamam Atma Bhakto. But he is inaccessible by the Vedas, but obtainable by pure unallowed devotion of the soul. So yes, the Vedas are there, but they have to be read with Atma Bhakto. You have to be fixed in bhakti. You have to be in the fixed conception of the self. You have to be a devotee. What is a devotee? Sava upadi vinir muktam tat paratrena nirmalam. All his material designations, the body, the mental, conditional life, gone. Nirmalam, noun. No, nirmala. Mala means all the unwanted things. The lust, anger, greed, kama, esha, all these things are. And so what is he doing? He's living in his fixed conception of the self. He's living in his stahi bhav. And he's rendering service to the Supreme Lord in his swarup, his eternal spiritual form. He's reciprocating with the Supreme Lord, as Prabhupada says here, in transcendence. And what is that reciprocation? Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktir Uchate. Seva, we're always stressing this word in class. Seva, he has a mood of service, and because he's in the fixed conception, his swarup, his service is characterized by dasya, sakya, vatsalya, madhurya bhav. Just like we see in this material world, the mother is serving the child in maternal mood. The two lovers are serving each other in conjugal mood. So service takes a mood. The servant is serving the master in dasya bhav. But this is the jada ras. This is the low quality ras. When this dasya, sakya, vatsalya, madhurya bhav is awoken in the soul by sadhana bhakti, then the devotee serves with his awakening mood. And whether his awakening mood is dasya bhav or sakya bhav or vatsalya bhav or madhurya bhav, it is always sevanam. It is always a mood of service. Rishikesha Rishikena Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. He is part of Krishna, he is in Krishna, he's devoted to Krishna, and he's serving Krishna in his swarup, which is his mood. It's not that the mother is serving the child just like a das. She's serving in the mood of vatsalya, in a material way. Their service takes a particular mood. Of course, in the material world, some people are serving their master with resentfulness, right? I have to serve this factory boss. He's taking all my labor and giving me 50% in money. So they're serving, but in a bad mood. But in the material world, a spiritual world, everyone is serving in ecstasy. So sevan mukhi hi jiva ado. We're always quoting this verse. Prabhupada always quoted, Atak Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhaved Graham Indriya. That, yes, now we're in the material world, we have this body. Sava Upadi Vinaya Muktam. We have to get rid of identification. We have to purify the mala, nirmalam. We have to overcome all this material conditioning. But even then, we cannot understand Krishna. Because, as Prabhupada says, by mental speculation, you may think, oh, I'm living a pure life, I'm meditating on the Brahman, and I see Krishna or the Supreme Lord as the guiding principle of this material universe. I feel that I am one with that guiding principle. But there's no in that. That's very good. Excellent. Okay, you're making progress. But you have to make progress from that impersonal conception to the personal conception. Save above. So Atak Shri Krishna, yes, you can give up all your material conditioning and you can meditate on the Brahman. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Sabjate. Krishna has three aspects, you all know, Bhagavatam. So you may be fixed in Brahman very much. And Paramatma, you're gaining some understanding. The guiding principle of this universe is a person. That's amazing. So you're meditating, dharana, jhana, samadhi, like a yogi. And you're developing realization. But you're not coming to the final point, which is what Krishna is telling in this 9th and 10th chapter. The final point is, I am Parama Purusha. I am Param Dharma. Arjuna will say, I'll read those verses. The Krishna is the final point. Just like he says, Aham hi adi devanam. The rishis and everything comes from me. We'll see later in the Chatusloki, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravatite. Sometimes there's a misrepresentation. People think, oh, Vishnu is the source of Krishna. No, that is not what Krishna says. That is not what Bhagavatam says. That is not what the Vedic conclusion is. Vishnu, yes, we respect. He's the expansion of Krishna. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, they are the expansion, the empowered expansions of Krishna. But Krishna is the source. This is the most important, that you must understand the ultimate source. The great sages, the great rishis, they don't understand me. Even though I am their source. How can we understand? Like we're saying, not through mental speculation. Atak Shri Krishna Namade Na Bhaved Graham Indriya, using the senses, which include the mind and the knowledge acquiring senses. You have Atma Bhakto. You have to have this devotion. But obtainable by pure, unallowed devotion of the soul. And who is Advaitam, without a second, not subject to decay, Achyuta, is Anadim, without beginning, Anantarupam, his form is endless, he's beginningless, Anadir, Adir, Govinda. He's the beginning and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. So Krishna is very, very beautiful. Just because he is the origin of everyone doesn't mean to say he's an old man with a beard, which the speculators do. So this is revealed within the heart. Sevan mukhi hi jivado swayam eva Spuriyada. Spurti means divine revelation. like Narada Muni. He was taught how to meditate in his previous life as a son of a maidservant. He was taught to meditate. He was meditating one evening. He was making the manasik murti within his consciousness, meditating on the beauty. And then that murti actually appeared. It wasn't his creation, manasik murti, but Vishnu appeared to him. And he was enlivened, he was ecstatic. Oh, I'm realizing, just like Dhruva Maharaj, he became ecstatic. He went to the forest. Dhruva means fixed. He went to the forest and he performed austerity, followed Narada Muni's instruction, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And then Krishna appeared because of his devotion, because of his mercy. Sevan Mukhihi Jivado Swayameva Spurti. He appears by his grace to bless his devotee. And then, actually interesting, he said to Narada Muni, he disappeared. Narada Muni sat down, tried to conjure up Krishna to appear again. But Vishnu, Krishna, spoke to him and said, Narada, you're not exactly pure in heart just yet, but I have appeared to encourage you. You carry on with your sadhana. And of course, now Narada Muni has seen the beautiful Lord, so he can carry on spontaneously with great sneha, with great priti, affection, love, because that is the natural state of the consciousness. We're not meant to live in this matsarya of the material world, where it is disparagement, rivalry, envy, because we're struggling and fighting to try and enjoy in the dull material energy. We have to have a direction to Krishna. So, by grace of Vaishnava, Krishna say, Tumara Krishna dite paro, Tumara shak. What is your power, O great Vaishnavacharya? You have Krishna. Now I'm crying. Amitu Kangala, Krishna Krishna bole, Dayatava pache pache. Please give Krishna to me. How? By your instructions. Krishna is attained by the science of bhakti. Yes, there is a mystical aspect to Krishna consciousness. You get diksha from potent Vaishnava. But then you must follow the science. You must understand what is Vaidhi, what is Rag Bhakti, what is Bhava Bhakti, what is Prem Bhakti. You must walk that path. But in the center of it all, you don't have to be a great pandit. All you have to have is seva bhav and develop an affection. And that will, because the center of everyone's swarup, dasya bhav, sakya bhav, vatsalya bhav, madhurya bhav, they're all built on seva bhav. And they're all built on this sneha, this priti, this love. That is, and the swarup, everyone is asking, how can I develop my swarup? Develop your seva bhav. And develop your seva bhav in your meditation. Just like Narada Muni, after he saw Krishna, Krishna appeared. So now he's meditating. And eventually he becomes the son of Lord Brahma, the Devarshi, one of the great rishis. So this is the secret path. Yes, you don't have to know all the Vedas, but if you understand loving seva bhav, your swarup will manifest and you'll develop Krishna prem. But the root is seva bhav. The root of material existence is service to myself. The root in the spiritual world, the gopis, they knew more than the Brahmins having the big fire yajna. They wouldn't send something to Krishna Balaram, But the gopis heard Krishna and Balaram are hungry, take everything, what we've got. Seva bhav. So this is very important. These rishis, sometimes we don't want to criticize great devotees. We should always speak with great awe and reverence of these great rishis. But we should understand the status of a spirit soul is according to Seva bhav. Just like our beloved Srila Prabhupada. Why did he go to America with a box of Bhagavatams, 40 rupees, and an address in Boston? Because it was the order of Guru. So, Seva bhav starts with executing the order of Guru. From the Guru you learn the science of Seva bhav and how to eventually become in Sthai bhav, your fixed conception of the self. That will take you to the spiritual world. That will reveal the Supreme Lord. That is the meaning, and Prabhupada mentions in the purport. You may study the Vedas day in and day out. You may learn Sanskrit. But you may be thinking, I'm quite learned. I know Sanskrit better than most people on this planet. And I've got all these certificates to prove it. But you may be a donkey. Because you don't love Krishna. You see? And it is through that love Krishna reveals himself, right? So, I did a little research because in today's verse, it says here, neither hosts of demigods or the great sages know my origin or opulences. So who are the great sages and the devatas? So there are 25 great patriarchs, great sages. Now we know that at the end of each day of Brahma, there is a partial pralaya. It is called Brahma pralaya or Naimitika pralaya. It means that all the planetary systems below Mahalok, that means Swargalok, Bhuvarlok, Bulok, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Vitala, Patala, that is all dissolved. And then when it is re-established, 7 rishis, the Sapta rishis, and the 4 Kumaras, the 4 rishis, and the 14 Manus, that makes 25. Presently, we are in Vaivasvata Manu. So, Brahma sleeps for a night, then he recreates, like I say, everything below Mahaloka. And there are Sapta Rishi, it mentions here, the great rishis, the sages. So in each day there is a new set of rishis. The particular rishis that are operative in this day of Brahma are Marichi, Angiras, Atri, Pulastya, Vasishta, everyone knows Vasishta, Pulaha and Kratu. And like I say, so that's 7. And then there is the 4 great sages, you will also hear that. So they are the 4 Kumaras. They are the mind-born sons of Lord Brahma. Now all these are meant to be Prajapatis. They're meant to populate the planetary construction of Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma builds the house, the universe, and then he has the Kumaras and the great rishis, the different gotras, and the great sages, and he wants them to populate. Of course, the mad scientists think that we all came from a big bang, right? There was nothing, there was a big bang, and then there was everything. And then suddenly we appeared. But actually the universe is constructed top down. So Lord Brahma creates the universe, and then these are the patriarchs or the forefathers, the Prajapatis. And like I say, Sanak, Sananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar. But they maintained their child form because they didn't want to get entangled in progeniting bodies. So Lord Brahma became very angry, and then Lord Shiva appeared from his brow. Right? Sometimes we frown. So that was Lord Shiva manifesting. So yes, 7 rishis. And then the 14 Manus of that one day of Brahma, they are also 14. They are also Prajapatis. They are patriarchs. So you have the 4 Kumaras who didn't procreate because they wanted to remain brahmachari. Then there's Narada Muni. He also didn't want to procreate because he remained brahmachari. You have the 7 rishis, Marishi, Angiris, Atri, Pulashta, Vasishta, Pula, Krato. And so in each Manvantaram, that means the period of each Manu, there are 14 Manus in the day of Brahma and approximately 71 Chaturyugas. Chaturyuga means the 4 yugas. So there's 4 pralayas actually, associated topic. There is Nitya Pralaya. Nitya means constant. Pralaya means destruction. So this is what we're experiencing every day. Like this microphone, it is undergoing Nitya Pralaya. Eventually the electronics will work out. The camera, it'll degrade. We'll have to get a new camera. This body undergoes Nitya Pralaya. It is getting older. It is getting less functional. It is constantly Nitya in a state of degradation. Even if you take vitamins all day, you will die eventually. Then Brahma Pralaya, each day of Brahma, like I say, above Swaga, all the way down, it is dissolved. And it's very interesting. I also read in the Puranas that when it is recreated, then Lord Brahma has a night, and then the next day Lord Brahma creates that section, but he doesn't create it in the same way. The planetary systems and Saturn and Yamaloka and so on and so forth, they may be in different situations. What we see now with Dhruvaloka, we don't see Swagaloka because it is subtle, but the construction of the planets, the movements of the planet, they may be different. Lord Brahma may make alterations. Just like when we sing a bhajan, we sing it differently every time. We embellish it according to our mood. So that is called a Brahma Pralaya. And then there is Prakriti Pralaya. That is at the end of 1,000 Chatur Yugas. Well, Prakriti Pralaya also, it means that the final Pralaya, where all the material energy is dissolved. It's dissolved. Earth dissolves into water, the qualities. Water dissolves into fire. Fire dissolves into air. Air dissolves into the ether. Ether goes into manas and so on. It gets withdrawn in that way. It comes down in that way and it's withdrawn in that way. And then it rests in the body of Mahavishnu. And then the fourth, so that is the Prakriti, material energy Pralaya. And then there is what's called Atyantika Pralaya. That means the union when the soul enters Brahman and he becomes in a null state. His activity and bhakti become dull. That is a temporary Pralaya. But above all that is the liberation of soul into relationship with Krishna. And that is done by bhakti. So this is the important point. that there's so much Vedic knowledge, but they all point to one thing. Vedanta Krit Vedavid Eva Chaham. That Krishna is the Vedanta. And the primary understanding of Krishna is Krishna as the source. Right? In chapter, like we said, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matak Sarvam Pravartate. And then Iti Matva Bhajanti Mam. Krishna is the source of material and spiritual. Those that know this perfectly engage in devotion. So the introduction to realizing Krishna is to realize that he is the ultimate source. This second verse here, 10th chapter, is to show, and he is beginningless. He is Ishvara Parama, Anadir Adir Govinda. He is the source of all entities, Anadir Adir, but he has no source. He is the self-sufficient Supreme Lord. And that is expanded in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? The Vedanta Sutra, it starts, Atato Brahma Jignas. Now you're human, inquire into Brahman, what is supreme. And then what does the next verse, Janmadyasyata? That who is the supreme? What is the supreme? The supreme is the source of everything. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is the expansion, the commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, as the great sages say. So, here is, we'll recite this. Here is the first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada translates, is the beautiful story of the personality of Godhead, Srimad Bhagavatam. So it starts with this single point, that Krishna is the uncaused, self-sufficient cause of everything. He is the source of everything. And that makes him achintya from the material perspective. Because we in this world, we are always asking, where you come from? Who made this mic? Who's the cook? We're always looking for the source. But Krishna has no source. He is the uncaused, self-sufficient person. So that is what we meditate upon. That's what the rishis are meditating upon. Krishna as the original cause of all causes. So the Bhagavatam is the full elucidation of that conception. So I'll say the Sanskrit, then the English translation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadi Asyayato Nyanvat Itaras Chase Abhigyat Swarat Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye Moyanti Yat Surya Tejo Vari Mridam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Damna Svena Sada Nihirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. So, before everything is written, when you write an essay, you always make an introduction, a preface, is your opening statement. So here is the preface, the opening statement of Srimad Bhagavatam, from which the whole Bhagavatam is expanded. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance and destruction of the manifested universes. And he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations seen in fire or land, seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. Yes, so now this is the important point. As we said in the class, the whole creation is Krishna, everything is Krishna, everything is emanated from Krishna. But we meditate upon Krishna as the source, as the transcendental Lord. We don't say meditate on the Madanga. It is Krishna. But we meditate upon Krishna as the source of the Madanga. The whole creation is there in so many aspects. But when we're chanting japa and we're in the fixed conception of the self, we meditate upon Krishna as the source, the cause of all causes. It says here, verse number 2, in the Brahma Samhita. I encourage everyone to study this. The spiritual place of transcendental pastimes of Krishna, Goloka, is portrayed in this second verse. The super excellent station of Krishna, which is known as Goloka, Gokula, has thousands of petals and a corolla like that of a lotus spouted from a part of his infinitary aspect, the whirl of those leaves being the actual abode of Krishna. The whirl of that transcendental lotus is the realm wherein dwells Krishna. It is a hexagonal figure, the abode of the indwelling, predominated and predominating aspect of the Absolute, Radha and Krishna. Like a diamond in the central supporting figure of self-luminous Krishna, stands as the transcendental source of all potencies. The holy name, consisting of 18 transcendental letters, that is the Gopal mantra, is manifested in a hexagonal figure with sixfold divisions. So you read this, and Lord Brahma, in one purport, he explains that this is the meditation that he has given to his Sampradaya. So we meditate upon Krishna, the cause of all causes, the source. The source of Madhurya Bhav, the source of Vatsalya Bhav, Sakya Bhav, Dasya Bhav. We chant with conception of our spiritual nature that will manifest our Swarup. We chant as Yagya, Madmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji. We offer our chanting, our hearing, our working, everything to Krishna. And by that Seva Bhav, Krishna reveals himself. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Okay, we'll finish on that point. Any quick question or anything? Yes? Yes, go ahead. Are we not what? Shantabhav? Yes, that's in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Chaitanya says that I have come, Charibhav, to make the whole world dance with Charibhav. So devotees, Shanta means neutrality. That is similar, that is meditating on Supersoul as the divine guide, as Brahman. This is Shanta, this is devoid of bhakti. It is meditating on the absolute truth, but not the original source of Brahman and Paramatma. So that Purusham, that divine Purusha, we meditate upon. Now, if you say, when we, who's we? Well, it's better to just think in terms of your own self. Am I meditating with the correct conception? Don't imagine that everyone else is just meditating for 2-3 hours in Shantabhav. We don't know what is going on in the consciousness of other people, unless we're a great rishi. But this is the process given by Lord Chaitanya. And this is the process in the Bhagavatam. This is the process of the great sages. Meditate on Krishna, Golok, Jai Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, the darling of Mother Yashoda, and the Sambandha Gya, and also dancing on the bank of the Jamuna. So we meditate in that way, and we chant, offering our chanting to the Leela of Krishna. You understand? So you can, if you want, meditate in Shantabhav, but then you won't get rasa, you see. That is why it's unsatisfactory in the Brahman. People come out of the Brahman. You may, like this pralaya, merge into the Brahman, but it's not satisfactory. Because Krishna is Leelamai, he enjoys pastimes. We enjoy pastimes, even in the material world, right? We want to go and see our friends, have a talk, right? We don't want to sit by ourselves. That is the mistake of Buddhism, the nihilism. I'm in this material world by desire. I shall overcome desire. But you can't, because the soul expression is desire. The soul is a desiring entity. He desires lila. He desires rasa. He desires to give love and take love. The soul doesn't want to sit without desire. That is, what is this? This is without desire, right? So, if you want to make the soul into without desire, first it's impossible, but then you want to be inanimate, right? That's the difference between a living body and a dead body. The living body has a soul, and it desires life. So, Lord Chaitanya says, I've come to make people dance with their charibhav, their swarup. Second, yeah, the Brahma Pralaya. Excuse me? Yes. Yes, that's right. That's the end of the universe. Yeah, above Swagalok is Mahalok, Janalok, Tapalok, Satyalok. So when Lord Brahma goes to sleep, the section below Mahalok, that dissolves. No, below, up to, including Swagalok, And then, I was just reading it because I was looking it up in a very authoritative book. And then there's a new Indra. You know, it's just the old Swara, there's a new Indra, there's new devotees taking positions as Agni. There may be expansions of Krishna, so on and so forth. So, and then there are new Sapta Rishis. So they change at the beginning of every day of Brahma. And there's a new creation. Like I say, it may be a little different, the planetary systems, but basically, Bhumandala, the lower planets, Bhuvar, Swargalok, they become re-established. I was just reading all about it. It's very interesting. Huh? Sorry? A reflection. You want to borrow a mirror? Oh, you have a reflection. Yes, contribute. Yes. Yes, Bhakti Lata Beach. With, yes, Vedesha Dola Mabadola. Yeah, Prabhupada, that's in the purport, right? Yeah, that's right. So therefore there's that verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sadhusanga, Sadhusanga, Sava Shastra Hoy, Lavamata Sadhusanga, Sava Siddhi Hoy. Right? If you get the association of sadhu and you are receptive because of a good nature, then you can get the seed of Shraddha, Bhakti Lata. And there's also another verse, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prashadi Bhai Bhakti Lata Beach. So the pure devotee is the touchstone. Because that's also, reading Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he explains, in the material world, there's four. There is people who are hopelessly entangled, and they have no conception of spiritual life. Then there is a group of spirit souls in the material world who are performing sadhana, because they want to become free of Maya and enter the spiritual world. Then there is a third group, that are completely liberated souls within the material world. So we shouldn't think that only those people that are completely liberated, we can take instruction from, as Uddhava was told, the Avadut Brahman, I take instruction from the water. I take instruction from Pingala. I take instruction from the tree. Because they are all teaching me something. So we can take instruction from everyone. But that vision is because we're seeing Krishna and Guru Shakti Baladev everywhere. But the essential thing is that, O he Vaishnav Thakora, Doyara Sangara, Eda se Karuna Kori, Dia Pada Chaya, Soda Heo Maya, Tomara Charana De. We have to take shelter of the great sadhus. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Dia Koro Eda se. Traina Peka Atihina. So we have to take shelter of those great transcendental personalities. There's that verse, 5th canto, Mahat Sevam Dwara Mahor Vimuktes, that service to the Mahatma. Who is the Mahatma? Mahatmanastamam Patha Devim Prakritim Ashrita. He is in the spiritual energy. And then there's so many bhajans, Shodha Bhakata Charana Renu, right? Service to the lotus feet of the Mahatma. But we should respect everyone. We shouldn't be judgmental. We can serve all devotees. But we should realize that those completely liberated great souls, big acharyas, and we can serve them. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur, just like Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, I can't, if a devotee thinks, I can't find a completely liberated soul, then he can. Bhakti Vinod, this is in Chaitanya Shikshamrita, he says, then you should read the commentaries left behind by the 6 Goswamis, by Bhakti Vinod Thakur, by Srila Prabhupada, by Bhakti Vinod. You take shelter, you associate. If you go to the Samadhi of Rupa Goswami, you are associating. If you read the Brahma Samhita, you are associating with Lord Brahma. The commentary is actually originally written by Jiva Goswami. Professor Sangal, a devotee of Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, made a summary study of that Jiva Goswami, and then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta edited that. So if you read Brahma Samhita and the purports and you meditate upon it, you're getting the association of Lord Brahma, Jiva Goswami, Professor Sangal, who was a great devotee, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. If you read the purports of Srila Prabhupada, you're getting association through Prabhupada. These great transcendental Mahajans, they're not limited by time and space. You see? There is that song, what's that? Sri Rupa Manjari Pada Say Mora Sampada. This is Narottam Das Thakur. Yeah. So he's singing. It's very interesting. He's not singing Sri Rupa Goswami. He's singing Sri Rupa Manjari. So it shows he is serving. He's saying Rupa Manjari, who's the head Manjari of Lalita Shakhi. I'm offering all my mantra, all my devotion, all my japa to Rupa Manjari. So Rupa Manjari, he is the leader of our parivar. We're in that parivar, Nityananda parivar. Ultimately it goes up to Rupa Manjari. So Kanishta will think, oh, Krishna is just in the temple. The Madhyama will think Krishna is present within the heart of all living beings. So we have to see Guru Shakti is not just in one locality. Guru Shakti is in all the Vaishnavas. That is in the first chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is the 5 Panchatattva Makam Krishna, the Panchatattva, and then number 6 is given, the spiritual masters. So Krishna Das Kaviraj says that these are all manifestations of the Supreme Lord. So the great liberated, great devotees, they are non-different from Krishna, Achincha Bheda Bhed, yet they are separate personalities. So Krishna is understood through his devotees, by their grace, by their commentary, by their acceptance, by their bhajans, by their commentaries. So if we study the Bhakti Shastris, and that is there in the Ishupanishad, number 14, Tadvedo Baham Saha, no, Vinasham Cha Tadvedo Baham Vinasham Cha Sambhutim Vinasham Cha. One should know everything about the material world and the demigods, but you should also know about the spiritual world. And then you can transcend birth and death. So, we learn everything about the material world, and then we become renounced. But then, through the great acharyas, and this is what Prabhupada is talking about and Krishna is explaining, we learn about the transcendental world. By learning about the material world, we become renounced. Oh, I see it is just a place of birth and death, unsatisfactory. But now what do? I study about Goluka, Gokula. I study the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Leela of Krishna, the devotees of Krishna. So knowledge of the material world, yes, we're in this material world. It's very easy to understand. I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul. But what are you? You are particle of Krishna. Mama Vangsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. And you're meant to reciprocate with Krishna. Like the gopis, Krishna, Radha and Krishna, they're in the center, and Krishna is dancing with each gopi. So every spirit soul is meant to dance with Krishna in his particular swarup. You understand? That is the perfection. How can we what?
Because the spiritual world. How you can tell that you is in the spiritual world. You have no knowledge. How can you tell
Yes. Yes. What is the path of perfection? Huh?
How do we know he's in the spiritual world?
How can we what?
We get to the spiritual world.
How can we get to this? By the mercy of Krishna? By the mercy of Guru?
Do we know Sri Prabhupada is in the spiritual world?
Huh?
Do we really know Sri Prabhupada is in the spiritual world or is there back to the material world? How can you tell him past the spiritual world?
I'm not catching your accent. Can somebody explain?
I'm saying, even you have no knowledge.
How you can rate a devotee?
You have past the
You can tell who is a good devotee very easily.
How do you know he's past?
Kathayantyastamam nityam tushyanticha romanticha maksit kata. That person with whom you can discuss Krishna, that is the sign of a devotee. Right? So, Srila Prabhupada, his purports, his brilliance, his lectures, is always discussing Krishna in a very clear, realized manner. So we know he's transcendental.
I understand that.
Yes. Just like, how do you know where is a good restaurant? You go there and you taste the food. So if you want to know who is a good devotee, you should hear. You should study his words. Huh?
How will I know what past the spiritual world?
How will I know what?
How will I know that we passed the spiritual world?
You've passed.
He says, how will I know that he has reached the spiritual world?
Well, there are many things that you will have to learn. Well, you can, that's what I just explained. You know the quality of, how will you know who is a good musician? How do you know that Prabhu is a good madanga player? By hearing. So you know, how will you know? That is also in the teachings to Uddhava. If you practice nicely, then three things will happen. You become satisfied. Your hunger will go away and you'll have a sense of well-being. Just like if you go to a good restaurant, you're hungry. Your hunger will go away. You'll enjoy the taste of the food and you'll have a sense of well-being. So if you're practicing Krishna consciousness properly, you will find material anxiety is going. You're becoming fixed because you're becoming realized. You'll also feel great satisfaction and you'll feel bliss. So ultimately, it's interesting that the process is descending process, but you have to empirically experience it through the soul. So you will know yourself. Therefore, I've seen that for 50 years. If somebody starts chanting, they make progress. If they don't chant, they stay on the mental platform. In Kali Yuga, chanting is the process. But we should expand just chanting into Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, so on. But you must experience it yourself. How will you know? How will you know anything? You understand? You will, within your consciousness, you're a conscious being. You're fully equipped to realize Krishna. This is what I was just explaining in the class. All beings are in me, part of me, and are mine. We're not made for birth and death in the material world. We're made for eternal life in the spiritual world. So sadhana bhakti is how to achieve that. How to achieve rag, rati, prem. Understand? But you'll experience it yourself. Just like if you read Prabhupada's books, then you think this is wonderful. Right? Yourself. I remember before I read Prabhupada's Gita, I got by mail order at that time I was reading all books on yoga and everything. But then I read Prabhupada's Gita and I thought, wow, this book makes sense. All the other ones were all kind of mental, and unsatisfactory. So you taste yourself. Right? That's why people stay devotees, because they're getting a taste. Rasava saha naman chintami Krishna's Chaitanya Vigraha. The name of Krishna is the source of ras. But if you want to unlock the ras, you must understand Sevabhav. You must chant for the pleasure of the great acharyas, for the pleasure of Krishna. If somebody chants, sometimes we have in the temple, chant and be happy. So somebody may chant and think, I'm chanting so that I can become happy. Well, that's okay. But really, we should chant to suffer in separation. Oh Krishna, when will I attain you? With spiritual desire for His pleasure. When can I serve you properly? Just like the gopis, they heard the flute song of Krishna, they ran to Krishna, not to enjoy Krishna, but to serve Krishna. Right? Always remember, material world means I want to serve myself, my senses. But the spiritual world, I want to serve Krishna and Krishna's devotees. So you have to understand that. This is what Krishna is talking about. I am the source of everything. If you understand that, iti matva bhajanti mam. So you meditate on that. Krishna is the source of everything. When you're chanting, and then you'll enter into bhakti bhav. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you all very much. See you next Friday, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Please come. We have a good Madanga player. He's getting better every week.